All right, guys, what's going on once again? This is the Club of the Man 1993. I'm up here to talk about 205 Live, the June 25th, 2019 edition of 205 Live, just like SmackDown Live, took place in Portland, Oregon. And definitely a show headlined by the title on cage side seats. Change has come. And I agree. Change kind of has come based off the results of the triple threat match this past Sunday, which again should have been on the main show, but what can we do now? It wasn't. As we have a new cruiserweight champion, and overall, thought there was some good storytelling. The past few weeks, 205 Live felt like it was lacking something. Felt like it was a bunch of exhibition matches once again, stuff that I'm not sure where it's really getting most of these people, but we had some interesting stuff happen on tonight's episode 205 Live. So, not an A show, but I'd say a good show. I enjoyed it. Thought it was some good work tonight from the Purple brand, including this opening segment. It was a recap of what happened at Stomping Grounds as Drew Gulak won the Cruiserweight Championship. And of course, Gulak was interviewed, saying once again how he may have failed trying to make a better 205 Live, but I wasn't going to fail making a better Drew Gulak. And look at him now. You now have no choice but to call him champion. And of course, I'll be waiting to see who will tap out to me at Extreme Rules. As in tonight's main event, we're going to be getting a match between Tony Nese and Akira Tozawa, the two other members of the triple threat match this past Sunday. Of course, Nese, the former champion. And of course, once again, because we actually have people earning opportunities on 205 Live for the championship opportunity. And so it's Akira Tozawa and Tony Nese in our main event later on. And the winner faces Drew Gulak at Extreme Rules, even though I left my card and think they were going to keep thinking they're going to take a break from the Cruiserweights one pay-per-view, but nope, they're not. But fine with me. So we're going to get Drew Gulak and Tony Nese at Extreme. Well, or I suppose apart. So we're going to get either Drew Gulak against either Tozawa or Nese at Extreme Rules, which of course I'll say now what I think the match should be when I get there. But anyways, let's get started with the show. Of course, we also have first we didn't have a backstage promo also of Drake Maverick hype anything up, because of course he's probably still mourning over his wedding, because once again, this is one Drake Maverick on Raw and SmackDown, but it's a totally different one on 205 Live. It makes no freaking sense, and it's driving me crazy. Anyways, so we have the opening match, Gentleman Jack Gallagher taking on Mike Kanellis, who, once again, interesting enough, I believe last week the Kanellis' previous contracts expired. But then I keep hearing stuff that the Kanellis have re-signed 5-year deals with WWE, which is their loss. And apparently rumors have it Jinder Mahal has also signed a multi-year deal with WWE also. So that was your choice. That was your choice, Jinder, but we don't care for you anyways. Anyways, though, so obviously, last week Mike Kanellis was calling Gentleman Jack Gallagher dead weight. Well, it was not the case, as, of course, another near fall, Gallagher kicked out. Mike Kanellis starts arguing with the referee because, Mike Kanellis complains about everything. And then it eventually leads to Gallagher just hitting a headbutt on Mike, and Gallagher wins once again. Well, wins after being in a little of a slump, and Kanellis, though, loses once again. So after the match, the Kanellises are walking up the ramp. Obviously, something's about to happen here. I mean, these two have just signed new contracts, from what the rumors have been speculating. They're walking up the ramp. Of course, this is if it was last week, I could say maybe the contract stuff was a ruse. But since their contracts expired the last week and all the new ones have started, now I can say this is not a ruse. But anyways, so they're walking up the ramp. But then also Mike just snaps and goes, no, and starts untaping his hands, says, I'm done. And then he says, you can go tell him, I'm done. He just untapes his hands and he starts to walk through the crowd, leaving a somewhat but not completely confused looking Maria Kanellis on the ramp, and she heads backstage alone. So finally, after weeks and weeks of losing, something different for Mike Kanellis. He quits. But is he done for good? Is he going back to NXT? don't go to Raw or SmackDown Live, my friend, because you will just be back in the same spot you were before you came to 205 Live. At least you're actually having matches on 205 Live, but once again, your storyline was just starting to get dull on me because, once again, wasn't your job threatened several weeks ago how coming up short in losses is not gonna cut it anymore, basically? Yeah, you still have had opportunities in number one contenders matches and whatnot. But anyway, so then we have backstage, we have Tony Nese yelling himself in the locker room saying he knew what he was getting into on Sunday, but now that he has a one-on-one match against a man he respects, he'll get his title back in Extreme Rules, obviously, as he does have a good history with Drew Gulak. And Desire is seeing him warming up and says he had a victory in his grasp Sunday after he beats Tony Nese. He won't let Drew Gulak get away again, and he'll become a two-time Cruiserweight champion. So I still forgot he was Cruiserweight champion for 6 days. And then we have Drake Maverick backstage, out of his wedding suit, all cheery and peppy because everything's fine. Everything's fine. You're on the right brand, of course. You're not on Raw or SmackDown where, oh, the 24/7 title is more important than my wife. What a jerk. But anyways, he's on the phone. He leaves a voicemail on Mike Kanellis' phone. And he calls him unprofessional, saying Mike can't blame him for his failure. So, well, he can't blame Drake for his failure, and hangs up. So, we'll see what's next for the Kanellis is, but we finally got something different besides him just losing, and like, okay, we're off. We have Humberto Carrillo taking on a jobber, Rob Rollenbeck. He just does his high-flying moves, as I'm starting to think that maybe eventually, well, I'd say give Drew Gulak. I mean, Gulak is someone I think could benefit from definitely having like a longer title run. Maybe to like, Survivor Series maybe or something like that. Give him a good run with the title. Maybe have like, Carrillo be the one to dethrone Gulak based off, their somewhat previous history. Or if you want to see have Gulak and Gallagher have a match along the way, and if Gallagher dethrones Gulak, fine by me. But I do think Carrillo definitely is due sometimes in a few months to definitely be Cruiserweight champion as well. So I've definitely been impressed with his works for sure. But Humberto Carrillo defeats this jobber. We get okay, this was funny. Robbie, you're in the live chat. No, you're not. It's Tyler. It's okay. Extreme Stupid Rules. Vince is killing it. Billy didn't really destroy Charlotte's moment. Charlotte's had how many moments? So why can't AJ just stay on SmackDown? I don't know. But anyways, your opinions though, man, well respected. But anyways, this is funny. Of course, this makes me think of another promo showing that Oney Lorcan's a little crazy when it comes to promos. He's either so calm and collected, professional, Mr. Give him my opportunities here, and I'm going to take advantage of them and do the very best that I can. Or he sounds like a lunatic. Because we get a recap of what happened in last week's main event as Ariya Daivari beat down Oney Lorcan. Sarah Schreiber interviews Daivari and says Oney deserved it for putting 6 staples in his head and costing him a title shot. He starts saying how Oney isn't tough, but then all of a sudden, out of the blue, here comes Oney Lorcan just beating him down with a steel chair, and he's being dragged away, trying to just get his hands on Daivari. But the thing that stands out most is all Daivari is screaming out. All Lorcan is screaming out to Daivari, how does it feel? How does it feel? How does it feel? It was not like how does it feel? How does it feel? How does it feel? It was like, you took away my dream. How does it feel? How does it feel? It's like, Oney, you gotta, sound a little more tougher whenever you are yelling. No one sound like, like a deranged, a deranged sounding child that was just born or something like that. Like, it's funny. It sounds strange. I love you, Oney. You're definitely not doing too bad work on 205 Live. I do like your tag team with Danny Burch and NXT, but seriously, man, gotta, get your priorities straight. Either you're a professional, calm, cool, and collected, expressing how you're going to work hard and whatnot, and then next moment, you're just like, how does it feel? How does it feel? Just crack me up. But we have that segment there. And then Lucha House Party. I wonder if the Steam Brothers took it lightly on them last week. They want revenge. And for what they did to Penelope. So Lindsay Dorado said that next week he talked to Drake Maverick, and they're going to be getting a rematch. A tornado tag match against the Steam Brothers. It will be Lucha time, which I'm like, whatever, because I don't really care for the Steam Brothers at all. So whatever. We'll see that next week. Their main event, was Tony Nese and Akira Tozawa. Pretty good matches between these two. Just had a match on Sunday. Some good back and forth action, good high flying action, taking outside the ring into the tables, to the barricades. That was a good main event for 205 Live. But eventually, Tony Nese would get the win, not with a running knee, so he got a win with a belly to back pile driver. It was a good showing after the match. Tony Nese, who kept saying he respects Tozawa, will offer him a handshake, and then Tozawa accepts it, and they hug, and they put each other over basically. That's how we got the show. So we'll be seeing Tony Nese and Drew Gulak taking on each other for the Cruiserweight Championship at Extreme Rules, which obviously these two have history. At some point, they had to have a pay-per-view match, and I think these two can put on a pretty good pay-per-view match for sure. I consider this one maybe an opportunity on the main show. I mean, again, Arya Daivari and Tony Nese got a shot on the main show, but I don't think it was going to be a strong enough match to be a main card match, or a cool down match. Well, it was a cool down match, but to get the Cruiserweight would be just a cool down match, like a pre-show match. I think the Gulak and Nese should be a submission match because, of course, the submission specialist, Drew Gulak. Don't really see any submissions out of, Tony Nese, but hey, just play Drew's game basically and to see what can happen. But again, I think Drew's going to still retain at Extreme Rules. I would like to see him hold that Cruiserweight title until Survivor Series. I'd say either Gallagher or Carrillo. More likely Carrillo, I'd say. I mean, Gallagher, I'm completely cool with being Cruiserweight champion, but Carrillo, I'd say, is probably the one who will dethrone Gulak, I still say. That's it for my 205 Live review. Give it a beat. That was a solid show. Typical stuff that Tyler says. Thank you to the participating live chat, Tyler. And I want to sign out here, guys. Again, tomorrow, have a big day. Have some stuff going on during the day that could be good for me and could give me a power up where I need to be. And also, of course, later on tomorrow, again, my sister comes home, so just be patient. I'll try to review NXT UK and NXT tomorrow. We'll try sometime either tomorrow or Friday to do my special live stream of the week. But again, it's going to be crazy over the next week and a half with her coming home to visit. So be patient with me, guys. I will be back up here whenever I can. But that is 205 Live, guys. What are your thoughts on 205 Live? Give it a beat. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And there's always to slap a like on my videos, subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandEverybody3. Check out my WrestleMania Experience documentary as well, found in the description box down below. Make sure you guys also check out my Extreme Rules card predictions. Let's get that to 1,000 views, guys. I haven't had a match card at 1,000 views in quite some time. There's that. And also, I forgot to mention this in my SmackDown review. If you need to check out my stream last night of like what has been a wrestling fan impacted me, how has that happened, make sure to check that out as well. It's just a nice little 30-minute, free stream basically. Me just chatting about things. I get tongue twisted, but yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. I will see you guys sometime tomorrow for my NXT UK and NXT live reviews. So until then, guys, have a great rest of your night, and also I will try to get my NXT Takeover Toronto 2 card predictions out sometime soon as well. So until then, guys, I'm out of here. Have a great night, sleep tight, and peace out, everybody.